All right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory and honor to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, Waha Kodash Rukar. Double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone that are ruling well. Peace and safety to all the Akim that's out here pushing this word in truth and sincerity. All right. So I just want to do a quick lesson. I don't even know. I'm just flowing in the spirit on an experience I had earlier in the day on my job. And I figured I would speak on it. So I'm just going to flow in the spirit. And Lord willing, let Nabaratasa, the Most High, direct my paths. This morning, I was talking to this sheriff that comes into my job. I chatted up with him. And, he was going into some things that I'm going to go into in this video. But more important than just simply what it is we were talking about, it was the experience in the sense of I was speaking to my brothers here in my camp, and I was telling the brothers that you can't be on your day-to-day out here just being just an angry black guy all the goddamn time. Now apply that with use wisdom in what I'm saying. Now of course that would make me a hypocrite if I made a video or the spirit had us do videos about sighing and crying and whining, all right? There's a difference in sighing and crying and just being a goddamn pouty baby all the goddamn time, okay? All right, the Most High told all those great men of the past, Job, Ezra, and so many others, to gird themselves up, all right, present themselves and be men. All right, so, this isn't a thing of, we're angry. We're in captivity. The scriptures tell you that when you increase knowledge, you increase sorrows. All right, but what I'm speaking on is how you operate in the world. All right, matter of fact, you know what? We're going to open up here. Bear with me 1 second. Like I said, I didn't have anything pulled up, but that's the beautiful thing about Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. Let's go to Matthew. I'm going to go to Matthew 6. All right, this is Matthew 6. And I'm going to start at. Bear with me 1 second. I want to find the verse I'm looking for. Salakia. All right, hold on. All right, this is Matthew. I just started at the top of this is Matthew 6:1, and it reads, "Take heed that you do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven." All right. That's good. Verse 4. Verse 4 is verse 4. Hold on, I'm just gonna search. I wanna find the scripture I'm looking for. Oh, Salakia, Matthew 6:16. I didn't go down far enough. Because moreover, when you fast, and be not as the hypocrites of a sad countenance, for they disfigure their faces that they may appear unto men to fast. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. All right, so fasting is a form of afflicting yourselves. All right, and through the spirit, this walk of ours, we're afflicted every day. All right, but that's not for us to appear unto the men, to the nations, or to your everyday, the lady at your bakery or the lady in the gym behind the table as you just beat up. Babylon is beating me up, man. Nah, man. wash your face, present yourself like a normal fucking human being when you out and about. All right. So the reason why I say all that is when you come in that spirit, you miss a lot of gems in life. Okay. And I'm not speaking of financial gems in this state. Now, sometimes that very well is true too. You know, sometimes applying the wisdom of the scriptures or what I'm saying in that format can bring about different connections that could possibly keep some money in your pocket. You know, a job opportunity. You know, it just depends on how the spirit flow on your end. But what I'm speaking on is just the simple fact of you might meet people that can give you insight on what's happening in Babylon the Great. Okay, so you gotta, as the scriptures say, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, because just the very energy of you being a people's person, all right, talking to the people, talking to the right people, you'll be surprised what type of little things you can pick up along the way. All right, so nevertheless, I was speaking to this sheriff, and he comes into my job, and you know, cool guy, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing too, you know, when you dealing with people of the law, man, the scriptures tell you how to deal with that. You know, Romans 13. You ain't gotta be an asshole. Don't be on some fuck you like you just listen to goddamn NWA, fuck the police, and on the way to work today, man. Just relax, man. These cops, a lot of these cops, they're cops, but a lot of them, they just regular jakes, man, with a job. You know, it's some of our people, they just they wanted a career to make some money to take care of themselves, and that's the path they went. All right, but a lot of people gonna leave these offices. All right, they're not gonna stay cops in the army and the navy and all that shit. They're gonna buck up to that. All right, so this cop comes in, a sheriff, and I talk to him when he come in when the spirit allows, just to, you know, see little things that are going on in the region. You know what I'm saying? So I'm chopping it up with him. And I was like, hey, you know, how's this, what are you seeing on your, I asked him basically in different wording, but basically, what are you seeing on your end as far as, dealing with this flu? And I didn't want to say epidemic because you got to be careful. And even with this, like I say, this is applying wisdom. All right. Some men, you know, you should know yourself and know, like, nah, maybe you should just keep your mouth shut, you know. Some men really should just keep their mouth shut, because you don't know the art of dealing with people in the world. You know what I'm saying? You just too raw in the spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? You haven't mellowed out, you know. So you know, every second is not a second to proclaim your wisdom, man. Scriptures speak highly of discretion. All right. So every moment's not a point to pull out something that you read in an article and stuff like that, or you saw online, because you might mark yourself in a negative way. Sometimes just seeming like a concerned United States of American citizen will get you far. Okay. You know, so I'm talking to him, and I asked him about the flu, and he corrected me, because I said flu outbreak, but he called it an epidemic. And then he goes further on to speak on the fact of he ended up telling me about the prisoners in these prisons, and I was like, see, that's a spirit right there. You know, I never really gave much heed to the fact of flu outbreaks within these prison systems. You know, so within my city, I live here in Atlanta. He was expressing to me the fact that one of the prisons, it might have like 20, or not prisons, the little county jail might have like 2,500 people in it or something like that. And he said of the 2,500, over 100 of those people have basically flu-like symptoms, and it's spreading. And so I did a research on that, and there was a story years ago of a prison in Indiana where 20 inmates had flu-like symptoms of H1N1. And a prisoner or two died from it. And I'm like, damn, this guy's telling me 100 plus men in this prison, which it could be very well more. It could be, even if it's 80, that's still way more than 20. All right. And it made me see, Esau ain't going to tell you every number and everywhere that's affected by this. These prisons out here are first of all, most of these prisons are the worst places to be at on the planet Earth. Okay, they have rats, roaches. They don't have best running water. They're not clean properly all the time. There's a lot of aspects that go on in this, so it's a perfect setting for certain things like this to break out, man. You know, and then what happens? COs come in, they go home, they take it home with them, you know, and you know, so he was explaining all this to me, and you know, then we switched up the conversation and jumped into we were talking about the fact that what's going on in the world. This is a cop talking to me, you know, and he was telling me the fact of in his mind, you know, about basically about buying property off the grid, so to speak. He didn't say off the grid, but you know, sometimes in the middle of a conversation, you can't be simple. Just listen, man. Sometimes you gotta connect the dots. That's why I say certain things aren't necessarily for everybody, but you should. If you don't have that skill or your mindset, then you should try to mold it, man. Because the Yahawashi set us up as spiritual news reporters. All right, and what do news reporters do? All right, you know, these different people like Don Lemon, all right, David Lemon or whatever, Don Lemon, all right, these different guys on CNN, Fox, your local news. They have people underneath them for the most part that will research these stories, if not them, to present it on the news. Because a lot of these newscasters, with certain stories that they present, like on 60 Minutes and so on and so forth, they'll win actual awards for their research, okay? So they put the time and energy and effort in. Sometimes you got to hit the field and be a people person. You know, you can't just always be looking like a big bearded bully all the time, man. You know, that's why everything you do plays a part in the longevity of you being in this truth through the spirit, man. All right, clean yourself up, present yourself like someone that is approachable, man. The apostles and the elders of old, they didn't look like just rough, rugged. I mean, they had a rough and ruggedness to them, but what I'm speaking on in the sense of they were approachable. Even as great as Yahawashi was when he was on the scene, he was approachable by the people. You got to be approachable, man. All right. So he was just sharing all these different things with me. And, you know, I just felt like it was beautiful information. But more importantly, I felt like it was beautiful information to show you so I could share with brothers the fact of don't be a hermit out here, man. You know, if you on your job, if the spirit got you at your job, whatever the job it is, the spirit got you there. All right. Use that as an opportunity to figure things out towards the truth. All right. The Most High ain't got us in places just for the hell of it, man. All right. If you're an Uber driver, sometimes I Uber. Sometimes, man, the Most High have it where certain individuals, I done met me and a brother in my camp here, you know, we both Uber. So we've had people in our cars that know about the RFID chip. They know about the technology. They know what's coming. All right. And it's edifying, all right? It's edifying in its little spiritual cliff notes for you. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I want to go from there to, let's go to Ecclesiasticus 34:9. And it says, a man that have traveled knoweth many things, and he that hath much experience will declare wisdom. Now, it used to be a time where when we were able to move a certain way, we could travel differently. You know, you didn't have to worry about saving up checks and how you're going to pay your bills on your week off and request time off. If you wanted to travel to go somewhere, you took your goods and you took your family and you went, you know. But now this place is shutting down. It's not as easy to travel. All right. It's not like I can, you know, I could if I wanted to. Now, of course, now let me reword that for younger men. Certain moves through the spirit, you should always check in with your elders, your camp, man. All right, even if it's not even a camp day, which you shouldn't be traveling on camp days. You should understand that that's part of our laws. All right, unless it's work or whatever the reason, man, go to camp. But if it's, let's say, Monday through Friday and you want to dip off and go out of town, check in. Let's let brothers know, like, hey, if it's all right, Doc, I'm gonna be out of town, go visit my mother or my father, or I'm gonna take my rib here. All right, cool, brother. It's just being letting everything be done in decency and order. All right, but I say all that to say, traveling used to be different. It's now, I don't really advise you leaving the States and going overseas. All right, because we in a hot time right now, man. All right, matter of fact, let's go to before I read with an Sirach, let's go to Joel, the book of Joel, Joel 3 and 13, and it reads, "Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come get ye down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great." And that's the time that we're in right now. This thing is ready to pop at any second. Any second now, this thing could pop. So do I recommend traveling too heavy like that? I don't think so. You know, you move with the spirit and be ready for whatever, but understand what time we're in. We're in a time of war. All right, so we can't travel as we did and as maybe generations ago. All right, but how do we travel now? We travel through the spirit. All right, we travel by trading talents, by dealing with men, talking to men within the fold. You know, soaking up. One brother might have some experiences that I didn't, so I soaked them experiences up from him, and I apply that to my walk. All right. Do I use it and like tell it as my story? No. But because a brother went through this experience, I understand it. A brother doesn't have to tell me. I don't have to necessarily experience what it's like in jail to understand that jail is not a place to be. I can listen to brothers' experience. Certain men, like you got this fat lard nigga, a Tazawam, or mighty to be a bitch. Right? They're talking about why he left GMS but never was in it. And you know, he's talking about going to school. Well, most of us, or I'll speak on myself, I have been to college. I've been to very prestigious colleges. Okay. Now, I had the experience of that to share with brothers, to let them know, man, it didn't pan out back then, and it ain't gonna pan out for you now. You want to do this, do that. There's other options. That's the beautiful thing about the body. Okay. Certain men, through the spirit, certain men live in other places and they drop information on you that other people don't even see. You see? So it says, a man that hath traveled knoweth many things. So how do we travel now? Through the internet, word of mouth. I was talking to the brother this morning, the cop or the sheriff, and he was sharing me an experience of a friend of his that's an ex-Marine. And the ex-Marine was saying basically, which I might do a lesson on that individually, but the fact of it is that he said the ex-Marine basically laid on him that, how did he word it? He said, be nice to everyone, but be ready to kill everyone. You see? And I was like, that's heavy. That's in the scriptures. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Be nice to everyone, but if shit pop off, be ready to take any and everybody down that's not aligned with you. All right. So that added to me. That was a piece added unto me that I could add unto other men. All right. And he that have much experience will declare wisdom. And you see, you got a lot of these men out here. They want to be overnight elders. But how the fuck are you an elder? All right, without any experience. You don't got no experience on going on the highways and byways and dealing with certain situations. You ain't got no experience dealing with men in the truth. You don't got experience of dealing with people in the world like that from an aspect of knowing that you were Israelite. You don't got experience dealing with the black woman, the tribes. You ain't even got experience dealing with the other nations. All right, a lot of you men, you don't even have experiences with. You just know Negro. You just know so-called black people and white people and a few Mexicans. All right, a lot of you don't, as far as your Chinese experience goes, is going to eat goddamn from your China walk down the street, man. A lot of you have no experience with the Hamites. You don't know anything about true Hamites. You don't know you don't know a Hamite by name. You don't know Hamites out here. You don't know Elam. You can't distinguish Elam and how they are because you don't have experience. Experience comes with time. Okay? Reading on, it says, he that have no experience knoweth little. All right? That's why I say you got to get out here, man. You got to get out here according to your measure. All right? Don't force the course. Don't be like, yeah, I'm going to get this experience. No, it's got to be organic, man. Start out with where you are in your life. If the Most High got you at a certain job, work your job, man. Know the people that you work with. Figure out what they into. Figure out, use it as an experience. I remember when I was in school, I was taking a psychology major. And this psychologist we were studying about, he wanted to understand the experience of basically, he was in Boston. And he wanted to understand the experience of the drug dealers that he saw on the corners in his neighborhood outside his window. So he did an experiment. He basically started dressing up like the people, went out there, started dealing, talking to the people, so on and so forth. For he had the experience to write on it. All right. He didn't just, I saw a few movies and listened to a few Jay-Z songs. And no, he got that experience for himself. Okay, he felt the energies. Same with us. All right, you share your experiences, man, but let it be spiritual. Okay. He that have no experience know of little, but he that have travailed or traveled is full of prudence, wisdom. Okay. When I traveled, I saw many things, and I understood more than I can express. You see, and that's us. There's a lot of things that I've experienced in my short life that I can't express it all, but when the Spirit allows it, I express it to brothers, all right, in the season. So that what? Not to be braggadocious and be like, yo, listen, man, nah, man, it's not about that. It's about the fact of sharing experiences, okay? Same thing with the apostles and elders. They share experiences that they went through, right? What that nigga Jay-Z say, Hove went through that, so you wouldn't have to go through that. All right. So, like I say, man, this was just more of a lesson. Like I said, I was sharing the fact of just the flu and the epidemics, but really, this was more of a lesson of applying spiritual wisdom in the sense of us being Israelite men. All right. When you read about King Solomon had the kings and queens from around the world come unto him to seek of his wisdom. And then King Solomon be like, Sheba, get your Hamitic ass out of here, bitch. You a Hamite. You a stinking ass Hamite and you're going into slavery. All right, no, he dealt with her so. Talked to her, shared a piece of his mind with her, and kept it moving, man. You'll be surprised. A lot of you men will be surprised if you just apply these scriptures in the way that they're supposed to be applied and walk in the same light as our forefathers did. All right, the scriptures is that the book of Job. And in fact, let's get that. Job 8:8, and it says, matter of fact, I started at 7. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 6. This is Job 8:6. It says, and if thou were pure and upright, surely now he would awake for thee and make the habitations of thy righteousness prosper. Though thou beginning was small, yet thy latter end should greatly increase. And that's what happened with us. We started out very small in this walk, you might, like me and brothers was speaking right now, you might only know a handful of scriptures. All right. But then the Most High brings that increase, and then next thing you know, boom, you seeing this world completely different. You pulling precepts, you're applying wisdom, knowledge, and understanding your everyday life. You see? So you gotta start humbly and let the Most High do his work. All right. Verse 8, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. You see? And how was our fathers? All right. Our fathers weren't just like we always say. Yahawashi knew that the Romans were were Edomites and Esau, what Esau did in his past, and that Esau was the devil. But you can't find one scripture really where he's blatantly blasting Edomites and telling them that they're going into slavery, and he just was all angry like that. Like most people will speak on one of the few times where in the scriptures where the Yahawashi blew up was when he turned those tables over. Okay, but nevertheless, he was a man that exhibited attributes as being cool as a cucumber. All right, he dealt so with the people. Okay, and the same applies to us, man. You gotta be like our forefathers was. This isn't something you just put on and take off, and then you just don't know how to operate. If so, you're gonna be malnourished, and there's gonna be issues in your foundation, and you're gonna crumble at one point or another. All right. If you've been in this truth more than 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, there's certain aspects of your life that should be completely different than when you were year 1, year 2, year 3. All right. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, you were just soaking it up. You were a baby, just learning. After a while, you should be able to apply it. After a while of applying it to your measure, you should be able to increase in your measure. All right. Basically be able to go out and about. Not be that guy that every time you go out to eat, you just pissed off because it's a goddamn faggot across the table from you, man. All right. The other day at my job, a damn 6'4" tranny came in my job with his white man lover. It was a black guy. Black guy looked like goddamn John Wall or some shit with a blonde wig on. Was tall and with some heels on, with an Edomite and a bunch of little nigga children. But you know what? I just put my head down and kept working. Like I'm having aneurysms and shit, man. All right? Apply this wisdom, man. So with that, I'm going to close up and give all glory and honor to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Waha, Kodash, Rakar. And then I'm going to say Shalom.